On the fateful night of April 15, 1912, the world witnessed one of the greatest tragedies in maritime history, the sinking of the RMS Titanic. But what led to the creation of this legendary ship, and why is it still remembered today, over a century later? Let's dive deep into the details of the Titanic's journey, from its grand design to the haunting tragedy that forever changed the world of sea travel. The story of the Titanic begins in the early 1900s, during a fierce competition between shipping companies. White Star Line, led by J. Bruce Ismay, aimed to build the largest, most luxurious ocean liner the world had ever seen. In 1909, construction began on what would become the RMS Titanic, a marvel of engineering and design. Designed by J. Bruce Ismay and Thomas Andrews, the Titanic was 882 feet long, 92 feet wide, and had a gross tonnage of 46,328 tons. It could carry over 2,200 passengers and crew, and boasted incredible luxury, including a swimming pool, a gymnasium, a grand staircase, and first-class suites comparable to the finest hotels. On April 10, 1912, the Titanic embarked on its maiden voyage from Southampton, England, bound for New York City. With over 2,200 people on board, the ship made stops in Cherbourg, France, and Queenstown, now Cove, Ireland, before heading into the icy waters of the North Atlantic. On the night of April 14, the Titanic was racing toward New York, trying to break speed records. But the sea was cold, and the waters were treacherous. At 11:40 p.m., disaster struck. The ship collided with an iceberg, tearing a 300-foot gash along its starboard side. Despite the ship's supposedly unsinkable reputation, the damage was catastrophic. The Titanic's hull was breached, and water began flooding into the lower decks. The ship's designers had anticipated that the ship could stay afloat with 4 compartments flooded, but this breach extended to 5, sealing the Titanic's fate. As the water quickly rose, chaos ensued. Many passengers were unaware of the severity of the situation, and the crew was unprepared for an evacuation. There were only enough lifeboats for about half of the people on board, and many of these lifeboats were launched half full. While women and children were prioritized in the lifeboats, many were left behind. The crew, despite their best efforts, struggled to maintain control in the face of overwhelming panic and confusion. As the ship sank deeper into the icy waters, the Titanic's fate was sealed. At 2:20 a.m. on April 15, the unthinkable happened. The Titanic's stern rose out of the water, and with a tremendous roar, the ship broke apart, sinking into the depths of the ocean. The RMS Carpathia arrived approximately 2 hours later, rescuing 705 survivors. But over 1,500 people perished in the icy waters that night, men, women, and children, who were unable to escape the sinking ship. Over 70 years later, in 1985, the wreck of the Titanic was discovered at the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean, lying about 12,500 feet below the surface. Since then, countless expeditions have visited the wreck, recovering artifacts and shedding light on the ship's tragic story. The Titanic's legacy has lived on through books, movies, and exhibitions, keeping the memory of this grand ship and the lives lost aboard it alive for generations. The tragedy also led to significant changes in maritime safety, including improved lifeboat regulations and iceberg monitoring. The story of the Titanic is a tale of human ambition, tragedy, and the lessons we learn from history. It serves as a reminder of both the triumphs and vulnerabilities of human engineering and the enduring importance of safety at sea. The Titanic may have been lost, but its story continues to echo through time. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating stories from history.